Hello and welcome to the show. This is For Heathen's Sake, fighting the Viking army in Wessex, AD 870 to AD 871. There are 6 battles named in the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle over this short period of time. This is the Battle of Meretun. The Anglo-Saxon Chronicle relates, 2 months after this, King AEthelred and his brother Alfred fought with the army at Meretun. They were in 2 divisions, and they put them both to flight, enjoying the victory for some time during the day, and there was much slaughter on either hand, but the Danes became masters of the field. And there was slain Bishop Heathen, with many other good men. So not for the first time, the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle gives us a bit of gobbledygook to try and work out exactly what happened here. Of course, in my campaign, Ethelred has already bitten the dust, so Alfred takes over as general, and he is pious, and Bishop Heathen is his lieutenant. The Vikings have King Baccus and another Jarl to the fore, who's Jarl Olaf. After the flurry of battles in January, both sides could not take the field until the 31st of March, and sources indicate that the Vikings have reinforcements by another ship-borne army. Therefore, I'm going to penalise the Anglo-Saxon army slightly. They will have 2 bases of Hussars, 4 of Thanes, 6 select feared, 10 general feared, and 2 archers. The Vikings will outnumber them, but they will be in 2 divisions and not on the battlefield at the same time, therefore giving the Anglo-Saxons a chance. The Vikings will have 2 units of berserkers, 4 Hussars, 4 veteran herdmen, 8 herdmen, 8 bondi, and 2 archers. Both sides will start with a morale clock of 8. There are no changes to the campaign points. It is the 31st of March AD 871 and spring has sprung. The village of Meretun lies at the top of the board with high ground to the bottom, the latter being occupied by Alfred and the bishop. Jarl Olaf has hastily assembled his division in front of the village, whilst King Baccus is trying to desperately get to him with a relief column. There are also some patches of rough ground which will slow down Baccus' arrival, some woods on the edge of the board, but other than that it is an open field. Do the Anglo-Saxons take advantage of the high ground or take advantage of the Vikings' split forces? Time will tell. So I don't think it's any great surprise that Alfred has made the decision to get in early and try and finish off Olaf. The bishop on Alfred's right will try and hold off Baccus as he comes here, but he's going to be delayed by that rough ground. So the Saxons have taken a gamble. Let's see if it pays off. Right, we're into missile fire then. So these archers will fire at the Viking ones there. No effect. Bishop Heathen pushing forward on the right flank. He's got to stop Baccus before he has a chance to influence the battle too much. Whether he's able to do that is another matter. And old Alfred, here he goes, pouring down the hill. Alfred Shieldwall facing off with Jarl Olaf. They're going to be fighting soon. Right, missile fire from the Vikings here. They'll be firing at the end. Feared. That's cocky. No effect. And that's a hit. And from movement perspective, they're just going to keep out of the way here. And Olaf here is just going to wait a moment. He's got to buy as much time as he can for Baccus to come up on his left. So he's not going to go charging in just yet.
Baccus coming up. He's got all his troops in a line. He's got to sort them out, which is going to take a lot of command initiative. But he can't do much else at the moment. So rally for the Saxons. These guys will need 5, and they get it. Bows will fire at these bows. No effect. And Alfred's line will move. But they're not in contact just yet. Right, the bows move up here. And here, they're slightly slowed because of that rough ground on their right. So again, they only move 3. Right, it's the Viking turn. Missiles first. They've got no rally checks to do. They're both going to fire at this feared again. 7 is a hit. This could be interesting. And also 5. Oh, that's not a hit. Now, the big question is, does Olaf get in now? Or does he hold? And you know what? I think he's going to hold again. Why not? So the Berserkers are just going to get straight in. They're not going to mess about. The rest of Baccus' division have got to try and get themselves into some sort of order now. So be careful with the moves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These guys can come up together because they're all a column. So they're okay at the moment for orders. But when I start splitting this lot out, it'll be difficult. Right, Saxon rally. They haven't rallied. So they can't get into contact. Archers will fire at these. No effect. And these archers will fire at this group of herd. And that's a demoralised. That's good. They'll still move forward, but not going to contact. Right, now it's movement, and the Saxons are in. These bows will continue to stay around in the rough ground. Bishop Heathen has whipped the Saxons into a frenzy, and they're going to go in and take the barbarians on. The fervour of Christ and the Lord. Right, let's do some combat. Right, so we're starting on the bishop's side. So it's 4, 5, 6 for the Saxons, and these guys didn't charge in, so I don't think I can give them a +1. So they're on 4. So that is going to be 5, 12, 5 demoralised. In fact, killed, gone. Great start. And here, unfortunately, it's feared. So that's 2, 3, 4 against 4. 4 all. 12, 9. So it's a DMZ on the Vikings. Well done, the bishop. All right, coming over this side, we have select feared, which are on 3, 4, 5 against 3. 5, 3. So that is 11, 11, that's a push. 6, 4. 9, 8. 1 DMZ for the Vikings. 6, 5. 11, 10, another DMZ. Vikings are taking the early hits. 6, 5. That is 13, 8. It's another one. It's all going one way at the moment. 6, 6. That's a push. 6, 5. So that is 10, 8. Six, 5. That's 13, 7. Ooh, they were lucky. Finally, something going back the other way. 6, 4. More DMZ for the Saxons. 5-4. That is 7-5. And the final skirmish on the right hand side is 5-3, which is 6-9. So DMZ for the Vikings. So that was a big hit by the Saxons there. Great choice to run down the hill and engage. But old Bishop Heathen's done some damage on the Saxon right. And the Vikings will drop a morale clock from 8 to 7. Right, Viking rally. These berserkers will need 4 and they haven't got it. Oh dear, not good for them. These herd are on 5. They don't get it either. And working our way along here, so these chaps will need, well, 8's automatic. They're all on 5, I think. No. Yes. No. He's not attached to them, so they don't get one for Olaf either. And at the far end, no. So that's not overly successful for the Vikings. Right, the 2 bows with the Vikings will have a go at these. General feared 6. That's a double DMZ, so they're going to get pushed back. One more hit and they're killed, and that's 2's a miss. Okay, movement. Well, these can move up even though they are demoralised. So that's 1, 2. They've still got this rough ground. Get the rest over there, and that's it. Right, combat with the Bishop. These chaps are normally on 4, but because of that they're down to 3. They are against 4. So it's 10-4. Berserkers have gone. Clearly they didn't have their porridge this morning. Right, switching over to the right flank with Olaf. I think I'm going to have to start this end, even though they're demoralised. So they're normally on 3, down to 2. But they've got support, so they're on 4, and the feared are on 3, 4-3, which is 10-all. That's a push. 5-3, which is 10-9, so that is a double DMZ and a pushback there. Here it's 6 against 2. Which bizarrely is a DMZ for the veteran herd. 6 against 4. So that's another DMZ for the Saxons, or against the Saxons. Right, into the centre we got 6-4, which is a push. 6-6, which is a DMZ for the Saxons. It's all even on the morale clock score so far. Here we've got 5 against 6, which is 7-14. That's a kill. And here we've got 3-2, back up to 3 against 6. And there's a double DMZ. Here we have 2-3 against 6. So it's 13-4. That's another kill. Vikings get hammered. And 2 against 5. 8-6. Well, amazingly, the Vikings win that one. However, overall, the Saxons scored more points that turn, so the Vikings dropped to 6 on the morale clock. Right, rally time for the Saxons. These guys will need 5, they don't get it. These chaps will need 4, and they don't get it either. 6 for them, no. Well, definitely not on a 1. These chaps will also be 6, no, and the final ones, no. So none of them rally. That's not good. Right, bows again. I think they've got to fire at these ones, closest ones. No effect. And over here, bows against these, no effect. They're pretty rubbish. Now, the big question for Heathen. Does he push forward and engage whilst these are not formed up properly? Or does he just hang on? I think I've answered myself there. You've got to go in. Right, away we go. I've perhaps been slightly generous with the left-hand side of the shield wall coming forward with regards to movement, and in fact, actually, perhaps not that generous because of the rough ground will stop them coming forward a bit. And over on Alfred's side, well, these guys are going to flank them. They will flank them. They will both move forward here. And no one else can move because of DMZs. Right, I am going to start here. So these guys are on 1 and these are on 2. So that is 7-4. Not a good start for the Saxons. And I think they turn of face. Here, these are on 1 against 5. 10-4, unsurprisingly, the Vikings die. Now in the middle here, these chaps are on 4-5, back to 4 because they're flanked. So it's 4 against normally 4-5, but the less 1, so actually 4 all. Interesting. Ooh, 10-6. So it's a win for the Vikings. And again, I think they turn a face. Next combat is 3 against 5. Oh, less 1. So 3-4. 9. So that's a DMZ for the Saxons. It's not looking good for the Saxons. And here it's 3-4-5 against 1. 5-1. Ooh. And okay, they've done pretty well there, the Saxons. 9, but they lose. And they're pushed back. Another double DMZ. And final combat here, it's 3 down to 2, but plus 2 for the support is 4 against 2. 4-2. And that is a DMZ for the Saxons. Okay, over on the other flank, let's see what the bishop is going to do. Where's he going to start? I think he's got to start here. So it's 4-6 against 4-5. 6-5. Which is a push. 6-5, actually. These are select feared against the Huskars. So that's 14-11. So that's a DMZ for the Saxons. Now we're into trouble because it's general feared. 2 on 4 against 6. Oh dear. That is a kill for the Vikings. And therefore here we have 3 against 3. And normally 3 less 1 plus 1. Okay, 3-3. Which is 9-7. So another DMZ for the Saxons, and that means that they will drop to 7 on their morale clock. Is this the Viking fight back? Right, Viking rally. These chaps here need a 5. No. These chaps are normally 3, so they're on 4 now. They get it. 4 need 5, no, and 4 need 5, no. So rallying isn't going particularly well for either side. Right, more of the same with the bows. They just need 1 hit and they're gone. Nope. That's a 7, so they're gone. Right, movement. Well, these are in here, definitely. I suppose they can't make it completely because of the rough ground, so they'll stick together there. These chaps will continue their trudge up. They're the Bondi. Not overly useful, but they might be able to carve in on the flank of the bishop and Alfred there. And over on Alfred's flank, not a great deal for the Vikings to do. There's no one here. These two are Saxons. Viking, but they're engaged. And down here, they can't advance anyway. I think I'll keep the support for these chaps. I suppose the only thing I can do is push those Bondi around there and flank those feared. Right, back into combat. It's 3-4 against 3-4. DMZ for the Vikings. 6-6, which is 11-7. DMZ for Saxons. It's ding dong at the moment. 6-6. DMZ for the Vikings. Right, in the middle here, I think Baccus is going to get involved now. So these guys are on 6, 7 with Baccus. And the Saxons be on 3, down to 2, back to 3. So it's 7-3 at the moment. Bishop's got to get involved. 7-4. And that is going to be 15-11. So they push back. And here it's going to be 3-4 against 1-2. 4-2. Which is 12-6. That's a kill. Righty-ho. Bondi here are 2, and these select feared are 3, so it's 2-3. Which is 10-9, so it's a DMZ for the Saxons. This fight is 4-4, which is 11-7. Another DMZ for the Saxons. It's a shame it wasn't a pushback because they would have died. Over here we have 4-5 against 2, which is a kill. And finally on the end here it's 1-0 actually against 2-3. 3-0. Which is 9-4. That is also a kill. Alfred's shield wall is starting to collapse. They got some success on their right, as in Alfred's shield wall, but the rest of it is crumbling. And over on this side, there's a big hole appeared in Bishop's line as well. Not looking good for the Saxons, and they drop another morale clock to 6. So it's 6-all at the moment. Right, it's the Saxon turn. We're over on the Bishop's side, and I tell you what, Baccus is giving the Bishop a right bashing. So let's see what they can do. They're going to do a rally check. 1 is not good enough. 2 is not good enough. I did make an error with this combat earlier, so they are demoralised, not the Saxons. Let's check these guys here. They do, just. The Huskarls, yes, easily. I've got the Thanes with Alfred, 6. That is good enough. So doing quite well here. They need 6. No, they don't get it. These need also 6, and no, none of them get it. So not quite so good there. Right, the bows, they're kind of out of this. Waste of time, really, especially with that throw 3. Over here, well, that's 1 DMZ. Movement. they will move up and give support to them. I think that's desperately needed. Right, here, bows are going to move down this side, and these General Feared are going to, well, he can't, but those two are going to get in against them. Bit risky. These Select Feared will flank the Bondi. They will do a rear attack there, and they will do a rear attack there. Ooh, misses. And I guess Alfred will get in here, and he'll go with them, I think. The rest of them can't do anything. Right, for the Saxons, I think we'll start here. So it's 4-5 with support against 5. So that is a DMZ for the Vikings. 3-4-5 against 4-5-6. So that is another DMZ and a pushback. Which means here we have 2-3 against 4. Which is a DMZ and a pushback for the Vikings, and they have nowhere to go because of the Bondi behind. They're dead. Right, here it's 2-3 against 3-3. Which is 5-11, so the General Feared are killed. Which means here it's 4 against 2. Which is 10-4. Oh, they've got smashed. Perhaps more luck on Alfred's side. These Bondi are absolutely surrounded. They're on 2. Less 1, less 2. So they're -1 against 3. Which means they have 1 against 5. So, oh, funny old thing, they die. And here, oh, I've messed this up. These, they're both Saxons, so I should have put them there. The problems with 6mm figures. There we are. So 4 against 5. So that is a push. And I think we just got the one combat here. It's 4 against 5. Is Alfred going to get involved? 5, yes, and Olaf would as well. So it's 5-6. So that is 13-10 DMZ for the Vikings. Death and destruction racking up on the bishop's side. He's losing a lot of men there. Alfred kind of holding his own, but it's not going well. The Saxons dropped to 5. Right, because the Saxon morale clock has hit 5, all of the General Feared have to take a one-time DMZ check. Failure results in them getting a DMZ marker. I think I used a 4 on one of the previous games, but it's probably more accurate to use the 5. So here we go. Right, these chaps here lurking on the flank. 7, they are okay. I've got 2 groups here. Fine and fine. And they're holding their own. But the worry is these 2 groups here, both of which are double DMZs. So if they fail, they are gone. A 5 is not good enough because they're already double DMZ'd, so they're gone. And this group here is also gone. So all of a sudden, Alfred's line has just vanished. And it's the Viking go. Rally time? No. Yes. No. These chaps here are the Huskars, so they'll need, well, certainly not 1, so they haven't either. They do just, and the herdman here, yes. Okay, so the Viking archers haven't really got much of a target. I suppose they'll both go for the Saxon bows there. They both miss, they're pretty rubbish. Movement, right. they can get there for 1. They can only come up here. Can't join in just yet. That's 2. I'm going to be a bit careful. I've only got 6 moves. I think they will go for it there. Definitely here. Baccus going to get in. And a general advance along this side here, I think. Oh, they're going to wrap around. Why not? Which means they're kind of left out on their own. Right, where to start here? It's very complex. So I think we'll start here. So it's 4, 5 against, well, Baccus will get involved. So it's 6 for the Vikings. It's 3 down to 1. And with the bishop, it'll be 2. So that is going to be 7-3. It's a kill. Would have been a kill anyway if it was 1 more DMZ. So they are gone. Are we going to repeat history? And is Bishop Heathen going to die? That's a 2. Sorry, mate, your brown is gone. And that's an immediate morale clock drop by 1 to 4. 4-2. Which is 12-10, but they're double DMZ, so they're killed. And here it's 2 against 4. Which is 8-8. Oh, it's a push. Lucky them. Okay, over on Alfred and Olaf's side, where are we going to start? It's pretty complex. I think we'll start here. They're all separate combats, actually. It doesn't really matter. So it's 4 against 0, actually, because they're flanked. Which is 12-7. So DMZ, another one, they're gone, they're killed. It's carnage. Okay, next combat then, it's 4-4. Less 1, plus 1, because Olaf will get involved. Alfred's going to have to get involved. So it's 5-4. And Alfred wins that. So it's a DMZ for the Saxons. They were lucky there. And the final combat then is 4-5 in favour of the Saxons. But it doesn't go their way, so it's 11-8, so it's DMZ for the Saxons. And after that, funny old thing, the Saxons take another morale clock drop. So the Saxons hit 3 on the morale clock. They've got to do 25% check for DMZ. However, Vikings are still on 6, so that means 50% of the units have to take a check. So there are 6 DMZs to dole out for the Saxons. It's quite simple as far as I'm concerned. The bows on the left-hand side of the field, that's 1, 2, 3, they're gone. And the bows down here, 1, 2, 3, they're gone. Right, Saxon rally check. These guys here get a 5, and that's exactly what they wanted. Over here, the Huskars will need 4, which they get. And that's it. I think the rest are run away. Right, we're looking from the Saxon perspective at the moment on the right flank of what was Bishop Heathen's division. Got some General Feared cowering in the rough ground there. These are all Vikings. There's a group of Huskars there, Thanes, but they are surrounded. And there's a bit of feared action on the left there, General and Select. But that's it. This right-hand division has been shattered. But it's not much better with Alfred. He's got some Thanes in front of him. He's got some Huskars to his right. And there's a load of others milling about over here, stamping on the dead bodies and trying to probably grab some riches from the carcasses. But they're not doing anything. They need to be back in action, and they're not. I've only got 3 moves for the Saxons as well. 1. Alfred will go in with them. He's got to try and get Olaf killed. 2. Flank them. And 3. About face. Oh, they're demoralised. I didn't roll for that one. Right. Right, combat here is going to be 4. Alfred will get involved for 5 against 3. They are killed. What has happened to Olaf? 7. Right, well, he's escaped, so he can go 6 inches and join up with another gang, so he's going to join up with them. And now we're on to this fight. It's 4 down to 3 because they're flanked against 4 here. 4-3. Is Olaf allowed to get involved? I'll say no. So that's a DMZ for the Saxons. And over here it's 2 against 4. Which is 10, 11, so the Vikings get 1. And here it's going to be 3 against 4. Which is 11, 10, so that's a DMZ on the Saxons. And I think that's it for combat. So the Viking morale clock drops to 5. Right, Viking turn, rally over here, we need 5. Yes, they've got it. Also 5, yes. And Bondi will also need 5. They've got a 7, so that's good. These chaps will also need a 5. They do not get it. Movement. 1. 2. No, they'll probably turn on those ones actually. 2. 3. Old Baccus will get in there as well. We'll finish them off. They can about face. I guess they'll pull them in. And they will join. So Alfred's can scuttle around here. That's it for movement. Right, back over to Baccus' side. This has got to be carnage here, surely. It's 4-5 against 4-3-1. 5-1. Which is 8-2. Funny old thing, they are carved up to pieces. Saxons are dying in droves at the moment. Here we have 3 against 3. 10-5 a skill, another kill. Which means also it's 3 against 3 here. DMZ for the Vikings. And over here, let's start this one. So it's 4-5 against 4-5 if Alfred gets involved. Ooh. So 13-8 DMZ. Lucky. And here it is 4 down to 3 down to 2 because they're flanked. 4-2. And that's a push. So again, at the end of that round, there's another morale clock drop for the Saxons. Once it starts in this game, it just keeps on going, actually, doesn't it? Incredible. So another, 50% check. Right, so I've got to do 4 DMZs for the Saxons. There ain't got many left. 1, 2, 3. And I'll put a DMZ on them. 4. Right, we're on what was Bishop Heathen's side. You're looking at Vikings. More Vikings. More Vikings. One group of select feared. And that is it. And over with Alfred here, desperately fighting a rearguard action. There's a lot of Vikings over to his front, but he has a few more Saxons to his rear. Firstly, a bit of housekeeping. These should not be DMZ. I realised that after looking at the video. And old Olaf should obviously be with his Vikings and not with the Saxons. Bit of a faux pas there, but there we go. Right, Viking go. Alright, over with Bagsec. They'll finish these guys off. That'll be a wrap around here. They'll turn around and go there. So that's 2 moves. 3, 4. Get these guys moving because they are herd and these are bondy. That's it. Right, this combat should be one-way traffic, although these guys are only on 1, and these chaps are, oh, it's 1-1. That's 6-3, and that's a kill. So Bishop Heerman's division is destroyed. Right, I think I'll start here first. It's 4 for the Vikings, and it's 4 down to 3-2. So Alfred has to get involved. So it's 4-3. Which is 12-5, and that's a kill. Thanes are hacked to pieces. What happens to Alfred? 6. Well, he's escaped as well. Well, he can pop around. Well, where can he go? Have to hop around here, I guess. But like Olaf, can't join in this combat. So this combat will be 4 down to 3, attacked by 4. But Olaf will get involved, so it's 4 all. So that's 9-7. A DMZ for the Saxons, and that means also that there's no more combat. 5 points scored. They're all for the Vikings, and Saxon morale clock drops to 1. So the Saxons have got 5 units left only. There's Alfred. I've got to do 2 DMZs. My thinking is, if I give 1 to them and 1 to them, they can rally some of that off because it's their turn now. Right, these chaps here. Yes. Yes. Ah, my great thinking worked. No, unfortunately. And the Huskars, yes. So actually they did pretty well there. But I've only got 1 move. These chaps move up here. They are not involved in the fight because they can't get there because of that DMZ, I think. So there's only 1 combat for this round. The Vikings are on 4 with Olaf 5 down to 4 because flanked. 5-4. Alfred is involved. That's a DMZ on the Vikings. Right, Viking rally. No. These chaps here, no. Alright. Missile fire, bows are too far away. Movement. I've got to try and get some more Vikings here. One. They can go here, which means that they'll have to turn around. 2. Alfred's there. 3. Oh, look. Alfred's getting surrounded now. 4. 1 more move. I suppose I can start to get these guys moving over. And Baccus himself will make a move. Right, so just the 2 combats. It's 4-4 here. That's a push. And here it is 3-4 with Olaf and 4-5 with Alfred. Again, that's a push. So no morale clock drop this round. Okay, Saxon morale clock is on 1. We have some feared here in the foreground. Some Thanes, Huskars, Alfred himself, and another group of Huskars, but that is it. They're getting surrounded by Vikings. And over to Alfred's rear now, we have the whole of Baccus's division getting sorted, ready to sweep over. So I think discretion is the better part of valour. and Alfred will run away to fight another day. Okay, so the casualties were fairly close in the end. The Vikings lost 9 units and the Anglo-Saxons 13, but they also had 5 run away from the battlefield, so double the number lost effectively. And not forgetting the bishop, who died a horrible death. Points for the battle are pretty simple for this one. 3 for the battle won and 1 for the leader killed for the Vikings, which means full 0. Which does set us up rather nicely for the final battle of the year, which is Wilton, on the 1st of July 871. There's no way I'm going to be leaving this project until then. So, hope to see you next time for the final showdown between the Anglo-Saxons and the Vikings.